We're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 29, Explanation of Devotional Service, text number 22. Yomam sarveshu bhuteshu
Yomam sarveshu bhuteshu
Shantam atmanam Ishwaram
Shantam atmanam Ishwaram
Hidvarecham bhajate mudyat
Hidvarcham bhajate maudyat
Basmanyeva juhoti sa
Basmanyeva juhoti sa
Yomam sarveshu bhuteshu
Yomam sarveshu bhuteshu
Shantam atmanam Ishwaram
Shantam atmanam Ishwaram
Hidvarcham bhajate mudyat
Hidvarcham bhajate maudyat
Basmanyeva juhoti sa
Basmanyeva juhoti sa
Yomam sarveshu bhuteshu
Yomam sarveshu bhuteshu
Shantam atmanam Ishwaram
Shantam atmanam Ishwaram
Hidvarcham bhajate mudyat
Hidvarcham maudyat
Basmanyeva juhoti sa
Basmanyeva juhoti sa
Yomam sarveshu bhuteshu
Yomam sarveshu bhuteshu
Shantam atmanam Ishwaram
Shantam atmanam Ishwaram mam sarveshu bhuteshu
Yo mam sarveshu bhuteshu
santam atmanam ishvaram
Santam Atmanam Ishvaram
hitva sham bhajate maudyat
Idvacham Vajate Maudyat
bhasmani eva juhoti saha
Asmani Eva Juhotisa Yo mam sarveshu bhuteshu
yo mam sarveshu bhuteshu
Santam Atmanam Ishvaram
santam atmanam ishvaram
Idvacham Vajate Maudyat
hitva sham bhajate maudyat
Bhasmani Vahi Juhotisa
bhasmani eva juhoti saha
Santam Atmanam Ishvaram
santam atmanam ishvaram
Hitvarcham Yo mam sarveshu bhuteshu
Yo mam sarveshu bhuteshu
Santam Atmanam Ishvaram
Santam Atmanam Ishvaram
Hitvarcham Bhajate Mudayat
Hitvacham Vajate Maudyat
Brashmane Iva Yuhoti Sat
Bhasmane Vajuhotisa
Ya,
Ya,
one who, Mam, me, Sarveshu, in all, Bhuteshu, living entities, Shantam, being present, Atmanam, the Paramatma, Ishwaram, the Supreme Lord, Edva, disregarding, Arvam, the deity, Bhajate, worships, Modyat, because of ignorance, Vashmani, into ashes, Eva, only, Johoti, offers oblations, Sa, he. Translation. One who worships a deity of Godhead in the temples, but does not know that the Supreme Lord, as Paramatma, is situated in every living entity's heart, must be in ignorance, and is compared to one who offers oblations into ashes. Okay, you can repeat. One who worships a deity
One who worships the deity
in the temples,
in the temple,
but does not know
but does not know
that the Supreme Lord as Paramatma
the Supreme Lord as Paramatma
is situated in every living entity's heart,
is situated in every living entity's heart,
must be in ignorance,
and is compared
to one who offers oblations into ashes. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It is stated clearly herein that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in His plenary expansion of Supersoul, is present in all living entities. The living entities have 8,400,000 different kinds of bodies, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead is living in every body, both as the individual soul and as the Supersoul. Since the individual soul is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, in that sense, the Lord is living in every body. And as Supersoul, the Lord is also present as a witness. In both cases, the presence of God in every living entity is essential. Therefore, persons who profess to belong to some religious sect, but who do not feel the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in every living entity and everywhere else, are in the mode of ignorance. If without this preliminary knowledge of the Lord's omnipresence, one simply attaches oneself to the rituals in a temple, church, or mosque, It is as if he were offering butter into ashes rather than into the fire. One offers sacrifice by pouring clarified butter into a fire and chanting Vedic mantras. But even if there are Vedic mantras and all conditions are favorable, if the clarified butter is poured on ashes, then such a sacrifice will be useless. In other words, a devotee should not ignore any living entity. The devotee must know that in every living entity, however insignificant he may be, even in an ant, God is present, and therefore every living entity should be kindly treated and should not be subjected to any violence. In modern civilized society, slaughterhouses are regularly maintained and supported by a certain type of religious principle. But without knowledge of the presence of God in every living entity, any so-called advancement of human civilization, either spiritual or material, is to be understood as being in the mode of ignorance. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Vanchakalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhu Vaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Lord Kapila is instructing his mother Devahuti about the process of devotional service.
Lord Kapila ลูกชายกบิลเดฟกำลังตัดกับแม่กำลังตัดให้แม่ดูที
Particularly, he wants her to understand that the Lord is present in every living entity.
อยากเข้าใจว่าพระองค์อยู่ในทุกคนทุกแห่ง
Now, sometimes in Christianity, they will say, God, oh no, God is only in the people, it's not in the animals.
ศาสนาคริสต์บอกว่าพระองค์อยู่ในทุกคนแต่ว่าไม่ได้อยู่ในสัตว์
That they think the animals are just there for eating.
ศาสนาคริสต์บอกว่าพวกสัตว์ทั้งหลายเป็นอาหารของผู้คน
And if there is a soul, they say that the soul in the humans is different from the animals. There's animal soul and there are plant souls different from the human souls.
มันมีดวงวิญญาณแตกต่างไปด้วยกันดวงวิญญาณมนุษย์ดวงวิญญาณสัตว์และดวงวิญญาณพืชแล้วก็พืชผัก
But the Vedic philosophy does not teach like that.
แล้วก็ศาสตร์ไม่ได้สอนไว้อย่างนั้น
The Vedas teach us that there's only one type of soul, and that soul is present in the heart of all living entities.
ศาสตร์ได้สอนไว้ว่ามีดวงวิญญาณดวงที่อยู่ในทุกๆคนคัมภีร์ประวัติศาสตร์คัมภีร์ประวัติศาสตร์เหมือนกัน
So within everybody, actually, there is the Jivatma, the individual living entity, which is a part of the Supreme Lord.
จริงๆแล้วทุกคนมีจีวัตมาอยู่ในตัวทุกคน
Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mami Vamsa Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, that the living entities are eternally part and parcel of the Lord.
ทุกคนเป็นร่องอนุของคริชนาของพระองค์แล้วก็หัวใจมีอนุแล้วก็มีอภิวิญญาณด้วย
And then there's also the Supreme Lord in His expansion is the super soul in the heart of all living entity. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Sarvasya chaham hridi sanivisto mataksmi kiryanam aponam. Krishna is saying, I am in the heart of everyone. From me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness.
Krishna บอกว่าฉันอยู่ในทุกๆคนแล้วก็ความรู้ที่ได้มาก็มาจากฉัน
So Srila Prabhupada is explaining to us that we have to see God in everything, even in the tiny insect.
เชื่อพระพุทธบอกว่าเราควรที่จะเห็นพระองค์ในทุกๆคนทุกแห่ง
And we should not be violent to other living entities.
เราไม่ควรรุนแรงต่อสิ่งมีชีวิตคนอื่น
We shouldn't cut the trees. Killing the trees is violence.
เราไม่ควรตัดต้นไม้เพราะว่ามันรุนแรง
And then killing all the mosquitoes and bed bugs is also violence.
ฆ่าพวกแมลงหรือว่าแมลงต่างๆมันบาป
One devotee, there was some problem with rats at the temple. Devotee was saying to Prabhupada, I'll put some, I can kill them, I'll put some rat poison.
มีสาวคนหนึ่งเจอหนูแล้วก็บอกพระพุทธว่าฉันฆ่าหนูได้ไหม
Prabhupada said, you should be killed.
บอกว่าเธอต้องตายมากกว่า
Because the rats come, because we're not clean, because we don't keep things clean, we don't put things away, we leave garbage lying around, we leave food for the rats, so they come.
เพราะว่าเธออยู่แบบไม่สะอาดแล้วว่าอยู่แบบสกปรกหนูเลยมาติดอยู่ที่เธอต้องทำความสะอาดเธอทำถังขยะเลอะหรือว่า
So we have to see God in all different creatures.
เราควรที่จะเห็นพระองค์ในทุกๆแห่ง
So if you just simply, you may be thinking I'm very pious, I'm a religious person, go to the temple, worship the deity.
ถ้าเราคิดว่าเราเป็นคนไทยที่ยิ่งใหญ่
But
ถ้าเราคิดว่าเราเก่งหรือว่าดีมากในการรับใช้พระปฏิมาอยู่วัด
But if at the same time we're killing the animals and insects, then we're in the mode of ignorance.
ถ้าเรารับใช้พระปฏิมาแล้วก็แต่ว่าเราฆ่าพวกแมลงหรือว่าพวกสัตว์อยู่
We will not get any benefit from worshipping the deity.
นั่นเป็นระดับความไม่รู้แล้วก็เราก็จะได้ไม่ได้ประโยชน์อะไรเลย
So Lord Kapila is making the point. We have to understand what we're doing when we worship the deity.
คาปิลาเดฟได้บอกจุดมุ่งหมายในการ
We shouldn't just mechanically go and worship the deity.
ทำเองแต่ไม่รู้สึกไม่เข้าใจ
ถ้าเรารับใช้พระปฏิมาแต่ว่าเราไม่มีความดีเราก็จะไม่ได้อะไร
We have to have some proper knowledge about what we're doing. Who is the deity?
เราควรที่จะมีความรู้ด้านในการรับใช้พระปฏิมาว่าพระปฏิมาคือใคร
The deity is Krishna, the Supreme Lord.
พระปฏิมาก็คือคริชนา
And he's present in different features. He's present as the Brahman, he's as the Paramatma, he's also as Bhagavan.
เขาเป็นพระเจ้าแล้วก็เขาอยู่ที่ดวงวิญญาณของพวกเราแล้วก็เขาอยู่ที่พระปฏิมาทุกๆ
Yeah, Badanti tat vam vidam tat vam yajnanam advayam prameti paramatmeti bhagavaniti sabhyate Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan.
คริสต์เป็นบรหมันแปลว่าแสงมาจากอาทิตย์ใช่ไหมแล้วก็แสงแล้วก็มีปรมาตมาแปลว่าอภิวิญญาณแล้วก็มีบางด้วยมีสามระดับของบางบรหมันแสงแล้วก็ปรมาตมาอภิวิญญาณแล้วก็อินทรีย์
So in this way, devotee sees the Lord everywhere, in everything.
สาวกจะเห็นพระองค์ทุกคนทุกแห่ง
And so he should never be violent to other creatures.
เราไม่ควรรุนแรงต่อสิ่งมีชีวิตอื่น
Right? We told about the Christian saint. He was called the flower, his sister flower, and his brother tree.
ศาสนาคริสต์ได้บอกว่าดอกไม้นั้นคือดอกไม้ของน้องสาวหรือว่าน้องชาย
Prabhupada was in Australia, and they arranged for Prabhupada to go and visit this one monastery where all these Christian monks were staying.
พอไปหาพ่อ
ไปที่ออสเตรเลียแล้วก็บางคนจะเรียกไปเชิร์ช
So Prabhupada was speaking about how the Lord is in everyone's heart.
พอปาได้บอกว่าสิ่งมีชีวิตพระองค์อยู่กับทุกคนทุกแห่งอย่างไร
And in God consciousness, Krishna consciousness, we should see Krishna in everyone.
คริสเตียนจะสำนึกควรที่จะรู้ว่าพระองค์อยู่ทุกคนกับทุกคน
So then the monks were telling them about this Christian saint who was talking to the trees and the flowers like they were brothers and sisters.
แล้วก็หลวงพ่อก็บอกกับศาสตร์ของเขากับเรื่องต้นไม้แล้วก็ดอกไม้
And Prabhupada said, oh, this is real God consciousness.
เพราะว่านี่คือคริสต์จิตสำนึกที่แท้จริง
So God consciousness is not just only in the temple that we worship only, see God only in the deity.
คริสต์จิตสำนึกไม่ได้อยู่ที่ในวัดหรือว่าในพระปฏิมา
That is the very lowest level of God consciousness.
นั่นคือระดับต่ำที่สุดในการรับใช้
But God is not only in the temple, He is everywhere, in everything.
พระองค์อยู่ที่ ทุกคนทุกแห่งอยู่ที่ทุก
And we have to recognize the presence of the Lord everywhere.
เราต้องตระหนักในการว่าพระองค์อยู่ที่ไหน
And of course, this bothers, this confuses. What people wonder, well, how is it possible that people can be so evil?
ทำไมผู้คน evil
อีเวนแปลว่าไม่ดีมาก
ทำไมผู้คนถึงอาหังการ
ไม่ดีมากแล้วก็มีเยอะ
Maybe not. Come on, not good.
มันเดมอน
Not very good. We're saying they're evil.
What is evil? I think demon.
Gopal, you know what? Your time. Forget all your time.
I think man is demon. I don't know.
Asur. Huh?
Asur is man, right?
evil และมัน
Evil also man.
Okay. So.
ก็ตัวดา
So evil, why is there evil? God is in the heart of the sinful, the bad people. He's in their heart, but they don't listen to Him.
ทำไมเขาถึงปฏิบัติไม่ดีแต่ว่าในตัวเขามีคริชนาจิตมีดวงวิญญาณของคริชนาอยู่แต่ว่าทำไมเขาถึงปฏิบัติไม่ดี
So
ไม่ฟัง
คน
มา
ที่
เลยแล้วอยู่หัวจะไม่ฟัง
Like, there's a story about the man was in the barber shop, right? And the barber was talking to him about God, and the man was saying, "No, I don't believe there is God."
บาร์เบอร์ร้านตัดผมคนตัดผมบอกว่าเธอเชื่อเรื่องพระเจ้าไหมเขาบอกฉันไม่เชื่อ
He said, if there is God, then why is there so much suffering? Why is there so many? Why are people evil? Why are people bad?
คนตัดผมบอกว่าแล้วทำไมพวกคนถึงทนทุกข์ทรมานแล้วก็ทำไมพวกคนถึงทำสิ่งเลวร้ายอย่างนี้
And so the barber said, no, it's just like if you go in the street, you see some people, they have long hair and a big beard.
ถ้าที่สะพานมีคนหนึ่งผมยาวแล้วก็หนวดเขายาว
So people may say, well, I don't believe there's a barber.
แล้วก็ทำไมไม่เชื่อว่ามีบาร์เบอร์คนตัดผม
Because if there was a barber, why would he have long hair and a beard?
ถ้ามีคนตัดผมทำไมเราก็ต้องมีหนวด
But they never go to, if they never go to see the barber, they do have long hair.
พวกที่ผมยาวหรือว่าหนวดเขายาวทำไมไม่ไปหาคนตัดผม
So in the same way, people, if they never go to see God, if they never go to the temple to see the Lord and to hear about His teachings,
ก็เช่นเดียวกันผู้คนเขาไม่สนใจในเรื่องพระเจ้าไม่ไปค้นหาเรื่องพระเจ้า
so because they never go to see God, so then they think they can do anything they want, anything they like. They do all bad things.
เมื่อเขาไม่รู้จักพระเจ้าเขาก็จะทำสิ่งที่ตามใจของเขาทำสิ่งไม่ดีเลวร้าย
So in this way, people who may think, they may think they're very good, they're very pious, but their vision is very narrow, they're not seeing the truth.
เขาคิดว่าเขายิ่งใหญ่แต่ว่าเขาคือเขาอยู่ในระดับต่ำแล้วก็ไม่ถูกต้อง
So people who worship the deity, they should be Brahmins, they should have understood the Brahman, the Brahman, the spirit is there in everyone.
ถ้าเราอยากจะรับใช้พระปฏิมาเราก็ต้องอยู่ในระดับBrahman.
And that form of the deity is the form that is the supreme Brahman.
ในรูปลักษณ์ของพระปฏิมาก็คือBrahman ที่สูงสุด
We are all tiny parts of the Brahman.
เราเป็นร่องอนุของคริชนา
And Krishna is the supreme Brahman.
แล้วคริชนาเป็นBrahman ที่สูงสุด
And we are all the parts and parcels of Krishna.
เราเป็นร่องอนุของคริชนา
And we have to take care of all the parts and parcels.
เราก็ต้องควรดูแลร่องอนุของเรา
Just like in the body, there are many parts.
เช่นเดียวกันในร่างกายเราจะมีด้านต่าง
You have to take care of all the parts.
ๆเราต้องดูแลร่างกายทุกอย่าง
If you neglect some part of the body, if you don't take care of it, then it will give you a lot of trouble.
ถ้าเราบาดเจ็บเราก็ต้องได้รับความ
ไม่ดูแลใช่ไหม
เราก็จะ
ปัญหา
เกิดปัญหา
Or if you have a car and you don't take care of all the parts of the car, then you get problem.
สมมติถ้าเรามีรถเราไม่ดูแลรถหรือเราก็จะรถก็จะพัง
Yeah, if one of the tires goes flat or gets a puncture, you think, oh, it's okay, we've still got 3 more, the 3 others. Then you can't run the car on 3 tires, you have to have 4 wheels.
ถ้าถ้าล้อหนึ่งแบนล้อถ้าล้อแบนเขาเรียก3 ล้อนั้นสามารถไปได้แต่ว่าไม่ได้
So you have to take care of, in the same way, take care of all the different parts and parcels of Krishna.
เราก็ต้องดูแลหรือรักษาร่องอนุของแต่ละคน
We have to think how to give Krishna consciousness to all the insects.
เราควรที่จะรู้ในการให้คริสชั่นจิตสำนึกกับแมลงต่างๆ
We don't just simply kill them.
เราไม่ควรจะฆ่าง่ายๆกับแมลงง่ายๆอย่างนั้น
This is what, of course, this is what a lot of people, you know, they might be quite religious in the sense, materially religious.
นี่เป็นศาสตร์ทางวัตถุ
They belong to a church or they're a member of a particular organization, spiritual organization.
เขาอยู่ที่what church อะไรchurch ไม่ได้ไทยที่มันจะได้
What
ไม่ใช่วัดไม่วันเลย
what wish
But at the same time, they're killing, they kill all kinds of creatures and they eat everything.
เมื่อเขาไปวัดแล้วก็เขาก็ทำความดีที่วัดแล้วก็จากนั้นเขาก็ฆ่าพวกสัตว์แล้วก็กินสัตว์
And they're saying, yeah, I love God and Jesus loves you, Jesus loves me.
พวกศาสนาคริสต์เขาคิดว่าพระองค์รักฉันพระองค์
But at the same time, they kill all the other living entities.
เช่นเดียวกันเขาก็พวกคนก็ฆ่าหรือว่ากินสัตว์
So this is being condemned here in Srimad Bhagavatam.
นี่คือนี่ได้จัดไว้ในชิมบาดัม
Okay, any questions, comments?
เช่นเรื่องเลย
Srila Prabhupada also says that non-violence is like putting others into distress, right?
Yeah.
So that means we. What kind of distress is that? I mean.
Well, if we do things which put people into distress, it's not difficult to understand, really. I mean, what things put people into distress? If you cause them unnecessary pain and hardship, then that is distress. You don't treat people in an honest and a fair way, then you may cause them some distress, some difficulties. So this is violence. If we don't recognize Krishna in the heart of everyone and think how to give them Krishna consciousness, then this is also violence. Prabhupada was asked to speak at a conference. It was a book they were releasing a book about Mahatma Gandhi, and it was Mahatma Gandhi, of course, he was always teaching ahimsa, non-violence. So Prabhupada explained the real meaning of non-violence, that if you're actually going to practice ahimsa, non-violence, then you have to recognize that everyone is a spiritual entity and benefit them by giving them Krishna consciousness. Anything which stops a person from becoming Krishna conscious is violence. If you restrict a person from practicing, if you don't give people Krishna consciousness, and this is all violence. You just encourage them in sense gratification, that's also violence. So ahimsa is it's an important quality, it's a good quality. It's not the highest principle of religion, of course. Just like Lord Buddha taught ahimsa. But that is not the highest principle of religion. That is one of the sub-religious principles. We have to understand what is the real purpose of religion. And that is to develop Krishna prema, love for God. So ahimsa, violence is denying people the opportunity to become God conscious. If we don't tell people about Krishna, then we're denying them the opportunity to become God conscious. We know the solution, to the problem. The solution is God consciousness, Krishna consciousness. And if we don't tell people, then we're violent, we're guilty of violence. So, just like if you know the cure for cancer or some other horrible disease, then we would want to tell people, we would tell them how you can cure that disease. So in the same way people have the disease of the material body, they're suffering in the material body. And we know the cure. The cure is Krishna consciousness. They have to hear and they have to chant about Krishna. And that will solve all of their problems. If they hear and chant. If they become Krishna conscious, then they'll get free of all that suffering. But if we just let people stay in the material world and take birth again and again, then this is violence. It means we have no compassion. We have no feelings for others. So we should want to distribute Krishna consciousness. We want to share it. Like sharing our Krishna consciousness. Okay? Yeah?
When we were talking about that, I think the couple was explaining on the Paramatma level, right? On the 3 levels of devotion science. So Bhagavan, we were talking about deity worship. I find it very difficult because deity worship also needs a very high standard, right, Mara? So we also, it's mentioned that those who are just actually doing the deity worship may not be in Kanishta level, but if they see only deity, Krishna and the deities, they are in the Kanishta level. Is it like that, Mara?
Yeah.
Because the deity worship needs really high level also, right, Mara?
Well, there are different levels. Not everybody, they may be doing deity worship, it doesn't mean they're on the highest level. Deity worship is to help bring us to a higher level, to help us to cultivate our purity, our cleanliness, our regulation. These things all come when we engage in deity worship. Some people may be worshipping the deity, though they may be like they're described here. They may be in the mode of ignorance. They only see Krishna in the deity. So there are different levels of deity worship.
And how important it is for devotees, us practicing to do the deity worship. I mean, we often hear like in grihasthas and they should have some deity worship or should do.
Well, deity worship doesn't just only mean deity. The form, you can worship pictures also as a deity. The Lord is also there in a picture. You can worship the photo. That's also deity worship. Yeah, some kind of worship you should do. You may have deities, you may have shaligrams, you may whatever. It's all good. Everything depends on the attitude. We know in the Nectar of Devotion there's a story about the Brahmana. He didn't have any deities, but in his mind he was worshipping the deity. So important thing is that we use our mind for the service of Krishna. You have a deity, you have a Krishna. We should think the picture, Gaur Nitai are there in the picture. So every day we offer arti to them, we do kirtan, we offer food. Yeah, deity worship. From time to time, you have to offer arti. You should know how to do it. You should know how to do deity worship. So for some time, you can learn. Just like we go in the kitchen, that's also part of deity worship, cooking for the deity. And we should think of it also like that. When we go in the kitchen, you're not just going in the kitchen to cook for people, you're cooking for Krishna. And we should think like that, you're cooking for the Lord. So that's also deity worship. You take the course in deity worship in Mayapur. They go to the kitchen and all the devotees learn cooking and what should be the standard in the kitchen. Not only just on the altar, the kitchen also. Yeah.
But how should we refute or make people understand? Because usually my friends come up to me and say, "Oh, you're vegetarian, you're still killing plants which are souls." Because they won't understand the context of Patram Pushpam Padam Pulam. So how should we make them understand?
They are vegetarian?
No.
No, they're not vegetarian. Well, there are many advantages to being a vegetarian. You can explain to them about the nature of the body, the anatomy of the body. The teeth, for example, are designed in a way they're more for chewing than for tearing. When you eat meat, you tear the meat. Meat-eating animals like the dog, they have sharp teeth for tearing. They don't chew. But the human body, we have flat teeth. The teeth are meant for chewing and grinding. And that's what we do when we eat grains and vegetables. So the teeth are one thing, the design of the intestines, that we have a long intestinal tract, whereas meat-eating animals have a short intestinal tract, so they evacuate quickly, but the human body doesn't evacuate so quickly. It takes longer for the food to pass. So that's why if you eat meat, you want to evacuate it quickly because there's a lot of poisons in the meat. But the vegetarian diet is convenient for the longer intestine. And the acids also in the intestine. The acids in the human body are not as strong as the acids in a meat-eating animal, like the dog and tiger and so on. They have very high level of acids to dissolve the meat. But the acids in the human body are not so strong. So it's much healthier for people to take a vegetarian diet. So like that you can explain these things. the nature of the body. You can explain also about how when you raise animals, it takes so much more land and so much food is wasted to feed the animals, to fatten the animals so people can kill the animals and eat them. But if we simply use the land to grow food for ourselves to eat, then we can feed much more people. So scarcity, food scarcity comes about because of people eating too much meat. And then also the karmic reactions which you get. The animals they feel also pain. If you go to the slaughterhouse and watch the animals being killed, then they won't feel so much like eating flesh anymore. When you have to go and watch the animal, how they suffer, and how cruel the whole business is, then people will think less about eating. But people, because we're so cold-hearted, we just go to McDonald's and go to the KFC and you eat all kinds of things. And we don't think what they're eating. So there are many books and authors who've written about these things. So they say, you are what you eat. So you make your body like a graveyard when you put dead bodies into it. People may say, well, we're killing plants, vegetables, but there's a big difference between plants and animals. Just like people eat animals, we can ask them, do you eat people also? Would you eat people? So most people would say, no, they don't eat. Why? Because people are different from animals. So in the same way, animals are different from plants. The plants are natural food, which is given by God for us to eat. But the animals are not really meant for us to eat. Animals are also creation of God. They're there for a different purpose. Just like animals, like a cow. The cow provides milk. And the bull can plow the field. So people need to be educated. They need to have vegetarian societies. You need to propagate, make some propaganda, get people to understand, to think more about what they're eating, what they're putting into their body, what they're doing to their bodies. The whole planet could be a much different place if people were vegetarian, if there was less meat eating. You see that the reactions which come from killing animals, like taking all the animals to the slaughterhouse, because they're killing animals, so they get reactions for them. It's the law of karma. Now, law of karma is there in every culture, in every society. In China and in the Bible and everywhere they talk about these things. The Bible says, as you sow, so shall you reap. And in China also they have the same thing, that if you do good, you will get good. If you do bad, you get bad. If you plant beans, you harvest beans. If you plant melons, you harvest melons. So you get the results of your work. If you're giving pain and suffering to others, you will get pain and suffering also. So vegetarian diet is to make proper use of the planet. That everything is provided on the planet for us. If we just take what we need, if we're not too greedy. But people are so greedy, they want to eat animals and they will kill them. Why do they like animals? Because they like the taste of blood. Just that is the reason why they're eating meat. They like the taste of blood. So you want to taste blood? Taste the natural way. Milk. Milk is the blood of the cow transformed. Drink milk. You don't get karma. You won't get bad karma for that. You'll get good karma. Okay? Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.